Sergeant Stubby, the stray dog who became a war hero. When the United States entered World War I in 1917, soldiers began training at Yale University. Among them was a young private named J. Robert Conroy, and wandering around the training field was a small, scruffy stray dog with a short tail and sharp intelligence. The soldiers took to him immediately. The dog learned drills, responded to bugle calls, and even learned how to salute officers by raising his paw. Someone jokingly named him Stubby because of his stubby tail, and he quickly became the unofficial mascot of the unit. Smuggled to war. When Conroy's unit, the 102nd Infantry Regiment, was shipped to France, dogs were not allowed aboard the troop ship. But Conroy was determined not to leave Stubby behind. He smuggled Stubby onto the ship, hiding him until they were already at sea. When Stubby was discovered, instead of being punished, the commanding officer was charmed, especially when Stubby stood to attention and saluted. Stubby was allowed to stay. Life on the front lines. Stubby experienced the horrors of trench warfare alongside the soldiers. He endured artillery bombardments, mud-filled trenches, gunfire, poison gas attacks. At one point, Stubby himself was injured by mustard gas. After recovering, something remarkable happened. Stubby became able to detect poison gas before humans could, using his powerful sense of smell. When gas drifted toward the trenches, Stubby would bark, howl, and run through the camp, warning soldiers to put on their gas masks, saving countless lives. A canine medic, Stubby also took on another role, search and rescue. After battles, he would wander into no man's land, locating wounded soldiers. He stayed with the injured, barking or tugging at uniforms until medics arrived. Soldiers said he could tell the difference between living and dead bodies, and would not leave the wounded until help came. Capturing a German spy. One of the most famous stories about Stubby happened when he encountered a German soldier sneaking through Allied lines. Stubby attacked, biting and holding onto the man's leg while barking loudly. American soldiers rushed over and captured the intruder. For this act, Stubby was officially promoted to sergeant, becoming the only dog in U.S. military history promoted through combat service. Decorated like a soldier, Stubby served in 17 major battles and 4 major offensives. Over time, he received medals from the U.S. Army, medals from French military units, a special jacket sewn with his insignia and awards. He marched in victory parades and became one of the most recognized figures of the war. Life after the war. After returning home, Sergeant Stubby became a national celebrity. He met President Woodrow Wilson, President Calvin Coolidge, President Warren G. Harding. He appeared in parades, charity events, and veterans gatherings. Stubby even became the mascot of Georgetown University, where Conroy later studied law. Legacy. Sergeant Stubby died peacefully in 1926. Today, his preserved body is displayed at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. More than a mascot, Stubby represents loyalty under fire, courage without rank, the deep bond between soldiers and animals. He proved that sometimes heroes don't wear uniforms, they wear fur. Gunner, the dog who heard the enemy coming. During World War II, Australia faced a very real and terrifying threat. After the bombing of Darwin in 1942, Japanese air raids became a constant danger. Soldiers, anti-aircraft crews, and civilians lived with the fear that enemy bombers could appear at any moment. Among the men stationed near Darwin was a young Australian soldier named Percy Westcott, and with him was his loyal dog, Gunner. An ordinary dog with an extraordinary gift. Gunner was not trained as a military dog. He wasn't officially enlisted. He was simply Westcott's companion, a mixed-breed dog often described as part Kelpie, with sharp ears and an alert nature. But soon, soldiers began to notice something strange. Gunner could hear Japanese aircraft long before anyone else, before radar detected planes, before human ears heard engines, before alarms sounded. Gunner would suddenly sit upright, stiffen, growl, then bark insistently toward the sky. At first, the soldiers laughed it off. Then the bombers arrived, exactly as Gunner had warned. A living early warning system. Again and again, Gunner reacted 20 minutes or more before air raids. His hearing was so sensitive that he could detect aircraft engines at extreme distances. Soldiers began to trust Gunner more than their equipment. When Gunner barked, anti-aircraft crews prepared their guns. Soldiers scrambled to positions. Civilians sought shelter. His warning gave precious minutes, time that saved lives. Silence under friendly fire. One night, during a raid, Australian anti-aircraft guns opened fire overhead. The thunderous noise terrified Gunner. He panicked, trembling violently. After that night, Gunner never barked again. The soldiers were devastated, but the story didn't end there. A silent signal. Although Gunner lost his voice, he did not lose his ability. Instead of barking, he sat rigidly, stared fixedly toward the direction of approaching aircraft, trembled, and pointed his ears skyward. The men quickly learned to read his body language. Gunner became a silent alarm, just as reliable as before. Official recognition. Word of Gunner's abilities spread through the ranks. Officers observed him closely and confirmed what soldiers already knew. This dog was detecting enemy aircraft earlier than radar or human sentries. Gunner was officially recognized as part of the unit, one of the very few dogs in Australia to be acknowledged for active wartime service without formal training. A symbol of survival. During the Darwin raids, fear was constant. Gunner became a source of reassurance, hope, calm in chaos. Men trusted him. They watched him. When Gunner reacted, they acted. In a war where technology often failed or lagged, it was a dog's instincts that gave warning. After the war, when the war ended, Gunner returned to civilian life with Percy Westcott. He lived quietly, away from fame, never fully understanding the lives he had helped save. Today, Gunner is remembered as Australia's most famous World War II war dog, a symbol of loyalty and instinct. Proof that heroism doesn't always come with medals. In Darwin, his story is still told, not of a dog trained for war, but of a dog who simply listened when it mattered most.